Welcome to NACo's County Countdown. I'm Erin Hurley, NACo's Director of Government Affairs, running through the top issues that are important to counties as intergovernmental partners. First up, the upcoming NACo 2024 Annual Conference and Advocacy for Direct Investments for Counties. The NACo 2024 Annual Conference will underscore the significance of direct investments in counties through the annual appropriations process, highlighting key areas such as infrastructure, healthcare, and economic development. Congress is currently in negotiations around funding for fiscal year 2025, and attendees will explore how federal funding can be effectively leveraged to address local needs and drive sustainable growth. By bringing together county leaders and policymakers, the conference aims to foster collaborative strategies that maximize the impact of appropriations on community well-being. Second, an update on Farm Bill reauthorization efforts. On NACo's last County Countdown, we discussed efforts around reauthorizing the 2018 Farm Bill. Last week, Republicans on the Senate Agriculture Committee unveiled their new framework for the 2024 Farm Bill reauthorization. NACo held a national membership call to review major county priorities in the House and Senate frameworks and forecast the trajectory of the $1.5 trillion legislative package. Thanks to NACo's advocacy, we secured key wins in the Senate Republicans' framework, including increased funding for rural development, support for new farmers, and expanded land management authorities. And NACo will continue working with Congress to pass a bipartisan farm bill. Next, NACo weighs in on providing care for formerly incarcerated individuals. In April, the Health Resources and Services Administration issued a draft policy for public comment related to community health centers, or CHCs, and care for individuals returning from incarceration, including pre-release care. Leveraging CHCs to provide health services to incarcerated individuals 90 days before release will benefit counties and residents by improving care continuity and managing resources more effectively. Last week, NACo submitted comments emphasizing the policy's potential to enhance access and continuity of care for justice-involved individuals, urging the inclusion of those in pretrial detention, and will continue to monitor and report on policy updates. Next up, new electric vehicle charging grants available to counties. Last week, the U.S. Department of Transportation announced its second round of funding for the agency's $1.3 billion Fueling Infrastructure Grant Program. The funds, which counties are directly eligible for, can be used to deploy electric vehicle charging infrastructure on local roads, within publicly accessible community locations, and along the national highway system. Of the total amount, $520 million is reserved for applicants who were unsuccessful in the first round of funding, with a reapplication deadline of July 1st, 2024, while the final application deadline for new applicants for the remaining $800 million is August 28th, 2024. You can find more information on NACo's bipartisan infrastructure law funding matrix on our website. And finally, movement on the Water Resources Development Act. On May 22nd, the U.S. Senate Committee on Environment and Public Works passed the Water Resources and Development Act of 2024, also known as WRDA 2024, and it now awaits consideration by the full Senate. WRDA authorizes the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to conduct studies, construct projects, and improve U.S. waterways, passing biannually since 2014. The bill includes provisions beneficial to counties, such as improving project permit information, increasing federal cost shares for inland waterway projects, and enhancing the Corps' support for non-federal sponsors. The House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee is developing its own WRDA legislation and is slated to release the text and hold a markup in June. Thank you for watching, and visit NACo.org for all the latest information and resources.